So, we start our day in a quaint small town someplace in America. We have our hero, Jared Stone. Jared Stone is a middle-aged man who has 2 kids and a beautiful wife. And he works at Pendleman's. Pendleman's is an office job. Jared was able to score this not too long ago, and he's been working here ever since. It's been quite a great job for him, and something that's really helped him and his family. Jared goes to work every day, in and out, wakes up, gets his coffee, eats his breakfast that his beautiful wife cooks, says goodbye to his kids as they go to school, and he makes his way to work at Pendleman's. Jared, you go to work, and today seems like any other day. But what you don't know is that everything is about to change. As you live your day working, punching in numbers, looking at different files and forms, and sending emails, you notice that there is an odd notification on your computer. What do you do?
An odd notification.
Mm-hmm.
I open it.
Jared, you open this notification.
I don't know anything about internet. See.
You open this notification, Jared, and there is but only one question on it. It says, which road do you take? And there are 2 images. One is a road that looks completely happy. It looks to go down this path of bubblegum and gumdrop trees. As you look at this picture, it seems so inviting. And it says, the path you're on. There is another picture of a path that shows so many different interesting concepts, but also something potentially scary, but says, the real path. Which one do you click?
Yo, I was gonna roll for this, but I don't see any reason to deviate off the path I'm on. So gumdrops and candy canes it is.
All right. You click gumdrop and candy canes.
Give me that candy, boy. I didn't start eating it till I get diabetes.
Good morning, everybody. This is Slaying Dragons in the Morning. I am your host, Hunter, and that is my other host.
Oh, I'm also. I'm Joey.
Today is a little bit of a different episode. We do not have a guest today. Instead, we are your guests, and anybody in chat can be our guest today, as you can send us questions and all those different things as well, or talk about your topic or whatever. But
we need to be honest. We don't have any more friends to bring on the show.
I mean, I didn't want to let everybody know that we don't have friends, but yeah, that's kind of it. We just don't have any more friends. We lied. Usually we say hello and introduce a new guest and tell them how we met and stuff. But well, they already know how we met, Joey. I mean, we talked about it on the very first episode of everything. So how about we just check in on each other, man? How have you been? Okay. How have you been since we started?
Well, I started CPAP. Since then, that's been horrible.
Oh my God, you're right. You talked about that. How's that? How is your last couple nights sleeping with that? I bet it's horrible.
Bad.
So for people who don't know what a CPAP machine is,
I will say it's a lot better now than when I did it a decade ago.
Mm-hmm.
The machines are a lot more advanced. The ramp speed is a lot slower, so it's not like all 20 pounds of pressure at once, just slapping you in the face. The mask is a lot more ergonomic, so it's not. It used to be like this big thing, right? And it just like goes under your nose now, and then like this.
Oh, that's. Is it just air? Now. Like it just pushes air to your face?
Yeah. So what they do is like sleep apnea is like your muscles relax too much, so your airways close.
Yeah.
And what the machine does is it forces air in to keep them open.
Did not know that.
But yeah, and it's got like the hose is on the top of the head now instead of coming out of the bottom of the mask. So it's like you can just put it up like above your bed, so you're not like tangled in the hose. So it has gotten a lot better, but it's still like I can get about 4 hours a night before I'm like, all right, fuck this.
Is it still loud? I mean, because I remember you saying that. Oh, man.
It's not.
My camera. There we go.
Unless there's like a leak, because if the air is getting out of the mask somewhere, it's like.
Oh. Okay. But it's not as loud as it used to be. I remember you complaining about that.
Better.
That's good. That's good. Let's talk about things going on in the world right now, or at least things we're excited about. So, you know, me and Joey were talking about a bunch of video games coming out that we're super excited about. Some of the big ones, or at least one that Joey found just yesterday that I had never heard of, but looks friggin' awesome. Atomic Heart. I have no... Go ahead.
Big BioShock vibes.
Oh, yeah. Huge BioShock vibes.
Looks very BioShock.
Yes. Oh, apparently Sam knows exactly what it is, because I had no idea what it is. It does. It looks great, though. We both watched the trailer yesterday, and it's, like Joey said, it's got this huge, like, BioShock vibe to it. It was all in Russian, so I don't know if the game is going to only be Russian, but,
well, we were watching, like, the RTX trailer.
Yeah, yep. Which, oh my gosh, and the creatures looked really cool, so if you haven't seen the Atomic Heart trailer, definitely watch that, because it looked freaking cool. The monsters and the creatures look really, really dope. That's the other thing, too, though. The game looks really cool to us with this trailer. How many games have we been like, oh my god, this looks amazing? One in particular, Cyberpunk, looked freaking phenomenal in every trailer that came out, and then we had problems when it came out. The game is still phenomenal. I love Cyberpunk. But of course, there's that thing where something looks amazing, and then when it comes out, it's like, oh, shoot. But what they're doing in the trailers lately looks really, really good. I mean, the ray tracing is making stuff look awesome. Atomic Heart looks really good.
George R. Martin game comes out this year.
Yep, the George R. Martin game comes out this year. The game that we literally know... Yeah, we literally know nothing about the game other than Elden Ring, and that George R. Martin is...
Elden Ring.
Yeah, other than George R. Martin is writing some of the story. That's it. That's all we know about this game.
It looks so good.
It looks
like from the 2 screenshots they've shared. It looks beautiful.
It looks really, really cool. Even the pictures in store to like pre-order the game look awesome. But we literally know nothing about the game, and it makes me so upset because they announced it and they're like, "Oh, this really cool thing," and then we're never gonna know anything until like a month before it comes out. They're like, "Oh, hey, by the way, here's all the content. Comes out in a month."
There's one game that you're really excited for in 2021.
I'm squeezing my can really hard right now because I already know what you're about to say.
We're getting a new Ratchet and Clank.
I'm so excited for Ratchet and Clank. God, I love Ratchet and Clank so much. I really wish they'd make... Oh my god, I just want a new Ratchet and Clank. The trailer was amazing. They said it was supposed to be a launch title, and it did come out with the PS5. I'm so excited, or I'm so mad about that. I love Ratchet and Clank so much.
Launch title. Now it's a 2021 title.
Which, I mean, it's still fine because I'd rather get a Ratchet and Clank game that's like really good. But oh my god, I love Ratchet and Clank so much. I love Ratchet and Clank so much. Just like playing like Jack and Dexter. But getting a new title for that is very... It's so cool because a lot of the older games that like we all loved are finally getting like new games. You know, there was Crash Bandicoot last year. We had the reignited Spyro. Now we've got a new Ratchet and Clank. Oh my god, I need more. Give me more. Just
what do you think, chat? What's your top video game release of 21?
yes. Let's move on to another bit of a topic. So, you know, here on Slaying Dragons, we try not to get too political or anything like that. But yesterday was the presidential inauguration. And we want to congratulate the new president of the United States. Whether you agree, disagree, you know, whatever about whatever, congrats to him and working so hard to become that. So congratulations, Joe Biden. But yeah, we wanted to take a second, congratulate, and talk about this historic moment of yesterday. Because beside all of the
favorite,
what was my favorite part? Favorite part was the end, yeah, because then I didn't have to sit through it anymore. No,
I only bring. I wanted to. I did want to shout out the best part. I thought was Amanda Gorman's poem.
Yep, I literally wanted to say that.
She is and not that our little channel is going to help her now that she's well over 1 million followers, but talented writer and speaker. That was really, really the highlight, I think.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Other than like fake Hollywood being there to be fake, I thought that her poem really stood out.
Yeah, I know that.
Even with these shorter days.
Oh my God! Yes, even with these shorter. Another thing to bring up that I was just talking to Joey about yesterday. Apparently, and I don't know. I'm not a scientist at all, but apparently the Earth is spinning.
Hey, Megan.
Apparently the Earth is spinning faster than it ever has. It's the craziest thing. I can go get the actual article. Joey, talk a little bit more about it while I go find the article again. What your first thoughts were about it.
My first thoughts were the same as Sam's when we were talking about this last night. And there's some historical data, or at least they're questioning the historical relevance of the Earth spinning faster due to climate change having an effect on it. And the possibility that we're really noticing it this year because we've all been forced inside. So our effects on the planet have like been cut back drastically. Like it was measurable in the early days of COVID. It was measurable, like how much the planet like changed from us having to all stay inside and not drive everywhere. And so I thought that was interesting. And the fact that like it's so drastic this year that like it's a normal thing for it to fluctuate, but it was so drastic that scientists were talking about having to go to atomic time versus standard time.
Yep.
For like electronics and computers, and
it's like I mean, you know, it seems so. I mean, it's like because when you read the actual like, you know, like, so several decades ago, the development of atomic clocks began allowing scientists to record the passage of time in incredibly small increments, in turn allowing for measuring the length of a given day down to the millisecond. Now, that's the thing, is the Earth is moving faster than it ever has. It is moving by milliseconds. It seems so small to be a millisecond that we are going faster, but apparently because you take that millisecond, you times it by every single day during the year, 365, it really is making a difference, and that's why they're all talking about moving from standard time to atomic time, or potentially, what is it, adding a negative, so you know how we have like leaps in seconds, they want to add a negative leap second, and like turn everything back, and that's what Joey was saying, is that if they do that, scientists are saying it's going to mess up more than just like potential time stuff. It's going to mess with technology and all types of things. It's crazy. It literally was just like, it baffled my mind. Betty White turned 99 yesterday. 99.
Holy cow.
99. Do you imagine
that's
getting to 100?
Dude, I can't imagine getting to tomorrow.
That's so horrible. She is a heart of gold and not a piece of chocolate wrapped in a golden ticket. Okay? As we move on to this next thing to talk about, and I
have to go.
I'm so enraged by this. But they want to make a Willy Wonka prequel.
It's what America asked for, Hunter. It's what America asked for.
Why do we need a Willy Wonka prequel? We don't need a Willy Wonka prequel. We don't need it. We don't need to know why he wanted to make chocolate. He wanted to make chocolate. Who doesn't want to do that? Why do we need a prequel for that?
That's the story, right? Like, you don't need to tell us. We know what happened.
We know it. We don't.
Dude,
you gotta
make chocolate.
He's an entrepreneur. We don't need this prequel. We don't need a Willy Wonka prequel. Don't need it. No one asked for that. No one asked for that. Good little glimpse in Charlie and John. We don't. I just.
They're setting up the Wonka universe.
I was about to say that. Setting up the Wonka universe so you can learn about all
the Wonka cinematic universe, the WCU.
WCU. Literally, you know what? The only thing in that prequel that I would even want to know about is how he got all the Oompa Loompas. That's it. That's the only thing. But he even tells you how he did it in the regular Willy Wonka Chocolate Factory, so I really don't even need to see it.
Yeah, I mean, it's one throwaway line. How exciting can it be?
Yep, it's bloop. If you would like to watch a Willy Wonka prequel, please tell us.
They make him the greatest villain of all time. He's a slave driver. So bad.
No. They turned into a TV show.
We're not here for this pop culture bullshit.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of interesting. To what this show is usually about most of the time at the end.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. To talk about what our topic is for role-playing, because that's what you guys come to this Slaying Dragons in the Morning show for, is to talk about role-playing and D&D and all those other different things. We just do filler with other news. This week, Joey, what are we talking about?
Pew pew.
Pew pew. We're talking about guns. We're talking about guns? Thought we had another thing in town. No? What are we talking
That'd be guns.
Oh, okay. Well, what are we talking about?
Magic. Casters.
Casters and casting magic. Spells. The incantations, the crazy words, the hand motions, all of it. We're talking about spells.
The thing everyone wants in D&D that ruins every D&D camp.
Magic. Yeah, we're talking about spells, magic, casting, all those good things. Powerful magic, weak magic, weird magic even. We're talking about all of it. Weird magic.
Weird magic, say.
I think the first thing we want to talk about is, how about just noteworthy spells. Spells you can think of that just like when you say it, everyone just knows what it is. Fireball. Yeah. There you go. That's it right there.
Counter spell.
Oh, counter spell. Yep. What else we got? Sleep. Sleep is a popular one.
Magic missile.
Magic missile. Yep. Oh, Bard spell. Dissonant Whispers. Light.
Whispers. Michaela's go-to.
Yep. For clerics, guidance. It's spiritual weapon.
Guiding bolt.
Guiding bolts.
spiritual weapon.
What
Wish.
Oh, Wish is a very popular spell. Yeah. All of these.
Well, I mean, it's a spell. It's a spell that everyone knows, but no one obtains.
No one ever obtains. Because when you wish upon a star.
Invisibility.
Invisibility. Yep. All of these spells are extremely powerful and popular at the same time. Spells that most people use and most people will take. Now, a lot of things, people want these spells and they want to be spellcasters. But a lot of things that people get construed or read the rules wrong can tend to potentially mess up campaigns or mess up your playthrough or all these different things. We're going to talk about commonly misread and mistaken rules and stuffs about spells that people just don't realize a lot of times.
Well, I mean, there's what? 3 chapters on spells and spellcasting in
there certainly
in the player's handbook.
There certainly is. There's a lot of chapters. Yeah, there's a lot of information no one reads at all. Yoda says thunderclap.
Which I've renamed Thunderstruck for my part.
Yes. What would you say is I know a couple, but what would you say is a rule that people commonly misread?
Well, the biggest one obviously is the ability to cast multiple spells. Right, we just had this one come up.
Mm-hmm. And what exactly is it?
So you can't cast 2 leveled spells in a turn. You can cast a cantrip and a bonus action spell in a turn. But you cannot cast any spells with. You can't cast multiple spells with level, even if one of them is bonus.
Right. Which is a it's tough, but it's not. There's a lot of miscommunication with that rule, and a lot of misreads with that rule, because then you have sorcerers who have things like twin spell and quicken and all those other different things. It's tough, but some people, and I have adopted a rule for my games that when you reach level 8, you're allowed to cast 2 leveled spells as long as it's an action and a bonus action, but the second spell can't be anything higher than a 3rd level spell, which is something I adopted from Critical Role because that's what they do. So it makes it a little bit easier, but it's still a tough and very misread rule, where you can only cast you can't cast 2 spells. It's tough, but a lot of people will look at it and
one of the problems.
Go ahead.
One of the problems with it, I think, is when you're first level and you're taking your cantrips, you take a lot of more utility, I think, depending on your recent class and whatever. And then you're like stuck into those cantrips. Like there's never a way to like readjust your cantrips as you go along or really gain more. So you get to the point where you're like, oh, now I have a bonus action spell. And you look at your options, it's like, wow, I can cast light.
Yep. There's not. Yeah, you don't think about it when you're picking your spells. Sometimes is that you need actions and bonus action spells. Just something to remember.
So when you're left with sort of like nothing to do there, even though you can do it. And then I think that feels kind of bad. It also kind of feels bad when you're a spellcaster and you're like, all right, I got my one shot, miss. Oh.
Yep, there's that too, which it does very early on. Levels really sucks, and I mean it's supposed to be because you're so low level. But like there was some like with your character Joey, you got this gun, but you couldn't you shot one time, you'd miss, that was your turn. Like you couldn't do anything else, which stinks. But there's ways around it and things. It's weird magic.
At the same time, though, like the rules in place because a spellcaster, once they hit they start getting into 4th and 5th level spells. If they could cast multiple spells at those levels, it's like, well, I'm a god now.
Yep.
Fuck you, DM.
Exactly, and that's the other thing is when people want to be a spellcaster, they're like, why is it so much tougher for me? Well, because you become a god. When you reach basically level 8 and 10, I can't control you anymore. Like that's that's the point. It's tough, but it's all about balance, communication. Like there was on the episode with Carter. It's all about communication. Talking to your players, talking to your DM, figuring stuff out.
We wound up having to take like a half hour to like work that out when this came up the last time.
I remember.
We worked it out.
We did.
Everybody knuckle bumped at the end of it. And...
Knuckle bumped. We virtually knuckle bumped because we couldn't actually sit together. But yes.
This is how you knuckle bump now. Here, which side are you on?
You're going the right way. Keep going. Further. Okay. Boom. There we go. There we go. That's how we do it here. Yoda says cantrips definitely make it confusing. There is something with a tome that you can add normal spells to the book and then use them like a cantrip. Oh, I didn't know that. That'd be a cool magic item.
Oh yeah, for Warlock.
As Sam says, you say casters are gods, but Dokris existed. You're not wrong, Sam. You're not wrong. No, that's cool.
I mean,
he was magic item.
He was built pure like anti-caster though. So Dokris was like, "Oh, you're a wizard? Get fucked, bitch!"
I quadrupled my way. That's it. Every time. But no, that magic item Yoda said, that's pretty cool though. I didn't think of that. You said it's for warlocks mostly? I can't remember.
Yeah,
Sam says
pack the tome.
No, yeah. So that's pretty cool though. What if you actually had like a magic item that you could write down? Like it allows you to take basically you take any level 3 or lower spell and can turn it from an action to a bonus action if you take the time and resources to write it in the book or something. That'd be kind of cool. And then you could maybe kind of get around that but like, and then the player has to choose. They can only change it at every dawn or something. It's pretty good. I like that. Actually,
I think a big part of it is like sorcerers, right? You know, it's the problem that they had on Critical Role in the early days.
Yep.
With
Tiberius.
Tiberius, yeah. Yep. He always ran into the same thing where it was like Quicken Spell.
Mm-hmm. He was like Fireball, Fly, and like all these other things at the same time. It's just like, see, that's not, no.
It's not how it works.
And sometimes it does that and becomes too OP, and like it's tough to wrangle in.
I think another thing too is a lot of people misinterpret like spell effects. We run into this with Dispel Magic and Counterspell a lot.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Counterspell.
Whereas Counterspell is to react to stop the spell. Dispel Magic is to stop a spell effect that's in play.
Right. And
sometimes, you get the thing where they're like, oh, he's using a spell effect, I counter it, which is not the wording of spell. Mm-hmm. Which also came up in our campaign recently.
Yep, I remember that. I Dispel Magic, that's not counter. Oh. Counter, he's not casting it. He already casted it. It's a balance of the misread of spells. Oh, there's also the misread for a lot of spells that oh man, what's the spells? Like Tasha Say's Laughter. You read it and it says it will make a creature uncontrollably laugh or whatever, but if their intelligence is lower than a certain thing, then it doesn't work. And a lot of people tend to forget to read those portions, right? Where you cast the spell and it won't do anything. You're like, what the heck? Why not? I cast the spell. Well, that creature's not intelligent enough to understand your joke. So why could they even laugh? Or how could they even laugh?
He too dumb.
He too dumb. And then there's
he had brain on legs.
He
don't laugh. And
then there's things like sleep. People think that just instantly like puts a creature down. No, you have to roll their certain hit point for them to even fall asleep. And there's a lot of misread spells out there.
Great versus kobolds. Bad versus Tarask.
Bad versus Tarask. 9th level sleep spell. Sleep.
Go to sleep.
Oh man. I was just about to bring up polymorph is another one. Polymorph specifically says you can only turn into a beast. Not all monsters are beasts. So a lot of times people might try and turn into something and they can't because it's not considered a beast.
Not a beast.
So there's a lot of spells out there that are very powerful but very commonly misread.
I think a lot of the times too is it becomes overwhelming for the person who is playing the spellcaster.
It's tough to be a spellcaster.
We ran into that with Carter forgetting his what is this contingency spell?
Right. Oh,
T-Rex,
like,
T-Rex, T-Rex. Yeah, we all thought he was dead, and then he's like, I don't know, like he's getting ready to like put his character sheet away, and he's like, I have a contingency.
Man, that's still one of the most like memorable freaking epic gamer moment. Still one of the most epic, memorable moments of that campaign. So good. Lola's fighting his adopted brother basically, and dies, and then he's like, oh well, that's it. Oh, just kidding. And everyone just goes, T-Rex, T-Rex, T-Rex. Oh god, it was the funniest thing. So funny. That contingency spell, man, that was something else. He finally got that, and then it got to be used. And he turned into a freaking T-Rex. Insane. Insane in the membrane. What are some so that's an underrated spell. I never even heard of contingency until that game. What other spells would you say are very underrated? I have a good chill touch. You know how people don't use chill touch, but they should? Does necrotic damage and stops any creature from regaining hit points. So if you're fighting a creature that has regenerative property and you don't know what it is that gets rid of the regenerative property, chill touch will at least stop it while you try and figure it out.
Yeah. I think a good one that I like for a lot of my like Arcane Trickster. I've got it on my bard right now, but Hypnotic Pattern.
Hypnotic Pattern. That's a good one too. I like that one a lot.
You can just like stupefy. You can stupefy a group of people. Stand there.
Make it look like they're all on.
That's one I like a lot. Yeah. I like Color Spray too. That's another one. Like that's the low level version of Hypnotic Pattern.
Mm-hmm.
That ability just to like stun people for a round is nice. Another underrated one is Fireball's baby brother, Lightning Bolt.
Oh my gosh, you're right. Lightning Bolt. Lightning Bolt is so good. But everyone wants Fireball because it makes fire. And that's a ball. Dude, Lightning Bolt is awesome. You can hit so many people like as long as whatever you can do in a straight line, you can do. Yeah. Lightning Bolt's really cool, and not a lot of people take it.
And you don't always, especially if you're not an evocation wizard that can shape the spell, like Lightning Bolt, I think goes underrated for like normal casters who can't do that.
Right, because Fireball can hit all your friends, where with Lightning Bolt
I can position my Fireball so that it doesn't hit my team, whereas Lightning Bolt, you can be like, all right, I just angle it between my team.
A lot of spells out there. Good, bad, powerful, weak, underrated, misread, so many different things about spells. But spells can get very out of hand, or they can be tamed sometimes, depending. But what do you do? What type of creature, Joey, would you have your characters fight if you really needed to teach them to not rely so much on spells? What type of creature would be the best for those people to fight?
Wait a minute, is this Monster of the Week?
Oh my god.
Hold on, let me get my monster manual. I can't, it's in the jacket.
Joey. Last night you told me you had your monster manual.
Listen, I have it. I just can't get it out of the jacket.
Oh boy.
Rock Sashes? Is that what we're doing this week?
The monster of the week is Rock Sasha. Rock Sashas, guys. If you don't know what a Rock Sasha is, you should get yourself some knowledge on Rock Sasha. Go ahead and turn to page 257 in your monster manual, 5th edition. Look at this dude. He looks real cool. He's a real swell guy. But Rock Sasha.
What's wrong with his thumb?
What is wrong with his thumb? Fun note, guys. Rock Sashas have backwards hands. So instead of instead of their thumb being on the outside of their hand. It's on the inside of their hand. It's really weird. But if you ever see somebody with backwards hands, you know that they are a Rakshasa in disguise. So that's a good...
Evil spirits in mortal flesh.
Yes, evil spirits in mortal flesh. Well, now since Joey has his monster manual, we can read simultaneously. Joey, how about you read the first paragraph out of the monster manual, and I'll do the next one, and then you do the next one.
The Rakshasa employs delicacy and misdirection in its pursuit of domination over others. Few creatures ever see the fiend in its true form, for it can take on any guise it wants, although it prefers to masquerade as someone powerful or influential, a noble, cardinal, or rich merchant, perhaps a politician, for example. A Rakshasa's true form combines the features of a human and a tiger, with one noteworthy deformity: its palms, where the backs of its hands would be on a human.
Bum, 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 bum. Just like we talked about. Rakshasas originated long ago in the Nine Hells, when powerful devils created a dark ritual to free their essence from their fiendish bodies in order to escape the lower planes. A Rakshasa enters the material plane to feed its appetite for humanoid flesh and evil schemes. It selects its prey with care, taking pains to keep its presence in the world a secret.
Slay me once, shame on you. Slay me twice, shame. Evil reborn. For Rakshasa, death on the material plane means an agonizing and torturous return to the Nine Hells, where its essence remains trapped until its body forms. A process that can take months or years. When the Rakshasa is reborn, it has all the memories and knowledge of its former life, and it seeks retribution against the one who slew it. If the target has somehow slipped through its grasp, the Rakshasa might punish its killer's family, friends, or descendant. Like devils, Rakshasas killed in the Nine Hells are forever destroyed.
So the only way to get a Rakshas's grudge against you away is to go find him in the Nine Hells and kill him again. Rakshasas are quite the powerful being, and quite a horrible creature.
As powerful as rock lobsters.
Rock lobsters! I know, Yoda says I was saying rock lobster. I was not saying rock lobster. I promise. It was Rakshasa. But it does sound very close to rock lobster. But yeah, Rakshasas, they're a very difficult creature. Now, there is one specific rule about a Rakshasa that makes them the reason why we brought them up today. And you should really pay attention to this rule, because if you don't...
Yeah, you care to explain this rule, Hunter? Why it's important?
Sure. So, Rakshasas have limited magic immunity. The Rakshasa can't be affected or detected by spells of 6th level or lower, unless it wishes to be. Don't forget that rule. Don't. Don't forget that rule. I forgot that Rakshasas... Thanks, Sam. Rakshasas can't be affected by spells. It means they can't be even damaged by them. No matter what the spell is, it does not affect them. Guiding Bolt would be stopped. I'm a dummy. And apparently Rakshasa decided that only Guiding Bolts could hurt him. I don't even know.
I mean, it wasn't so much the Guiding Bolt as the Paladin critting off the Guiding Bolt on the next strike.
Yeah, right? that as well. That was... It was quite the horribleness. I was very upset. Don't forget that the Rakshasa cannot be affected by spells. So if you decide to use a Rakshasa, just remember that. But the Rock Sasha is because the Rock Sasha, I mean, he's a challenge rating 13, and when you decide that his one super powerful ability doesn't work anymore, he instantly goes down to like a challenge rating 6. Basically cuts him in half. Rock Sashas are a very strong foe, and very not easy to use, I'd say. But they're a very fun monster to throw into your campaign. Joey, first of all, what's a good place you would find a Rock Sasha at, and what's a unique quest or unique storyline that you can throw in for a Rock Sasha? That you can think
So I think you could set up, first of all, if you've got some spellcasters that they're getting a little too big for their britches, it's the perfect time to throw that there.
Perfect time for a...
But I think you find a city that's like in unrest, maybe, who's unhappy with their leader. Then you meet their leader, and they seem like very charismatic and.
Do you have some Rock Sashas fighting?
Mad dogs.
Is some Rock Sashas fighting each other?
My puppers are fighting Rock Sashas, I think.
They're casting spells. They're borking.
Okay. You have this enigmatic and charismatic leader. Who's like, oh, there's this other group in town that's causing this unrest, and I need you to help me deal with it. Send the party off to deal with that, and then they come back, and he's like, haha, you fools, you stopped the only people that were trying to stop me, and unwittingly helped my master plan. Now I will banish you all to the 9 hells so that you can know my suffering. Oh, it's a Rock Sasha.
Oh, yeah. Rock Sashas are really cool. There's a lot of cool things you can do with them. I love the fact that, they mostly try to disguise themselves as... Because they're very charismatic people. Rock Sasha's meant to be manipulative.
What was your Rock Sasha?
My Rock Sasha... My Rock Sasha was a tea restaurant owner in a place called the Hellscape, who was...
Hellscape Bubble Tea.
Yep, Hellscape Bubble Tea. He specifically had been in the Hellscape because he found it an easier place to find like wandering souls and unwittingly people and adventurers who traveled to the Hellscape unknowingly. He was able to coerce them into things. However, this group was not fooled. As their paladin said, we are not staying here. He was very intrusive of not staying anywhere in the Hellscape. So they were able to get around this tea shop owner man very quickly, and ended up...
Bree would have bought it hook, line, and sinker. Just
but then they...
He was such a nice tea shop owner.
Yep. They unknowingly found the Rock Sasha's cave of stolen souls and people, and ended up facing the Rock Sasha in his lair, which even in his lair, I apparently still had forgotten that he has immunity to magic, and he died much faster than he should have, which was very upsetting.
I don't think he had lair actions either.
No lair. Well, I mean, they don't technically have lair actions, but it was his lair, so he should have had some... I should have upped his challenge rating at least from the 6 I now brought him down to by giving him lair actions. But I should have at least given him some lair actions. I couldn't even do that right. So guys, please, Rock Sasha, he has so much more to live for in this life. Don't forget that he has immunity to magic. It's his one thing. It's his one thing that he does. It makes him so powerful, as he's immune to magic. And I couldn't remember that. Super cool enemy, though. I like Rock Sashas a lot. There's so many options you can do with the Rock Sasha, technically. You could even turn it into... honestly, a Rock Sasha that's not particularly evil. Maybe a Rock Sasha that owns... like a bathhouse, and the players discover he's a Rock Sasha, thinking he's completely evil, and when they finally confront him about it, he's just like, no, this is just my bathhouse, like, I'm just here to give, like, so then you could switch up the script and make, like, a good Rock Sasha.
Guys, I've been to hell so many times.
I really
just
don't
want
want
to
to go.
retire.
I don't want to go
Run my
back.
bath on. It's horrible.
Just please. So yeah, there's so many things you can do with the Rock Sasha. Rock Sashas are cool. I like them. Rock Sasha. Very, very cool. So before we say goodbye, remember, guys, that if you missed an episode, you can always watch it on YouTube the following week, right before we go live. So you can watch the show right before you watch this show if you want to wake up even earlier. Start your day twice. So remember to.
Episode is up now. You missed it.
Yep.
You can catch it. It's a two-parter.
Yep, it's a two-parter. We had it with our guest Sam, Monday Sammy, who is an awesome guest and an awesome person. So make sure you watch that episode. But don't forget to subscribe on YouTube so you can watch the old episodes if you miss them. Also in our About, there is our Discord community chat. Please join the Discord community chat, because then you can talk to other like-minded people like you, other people who like slaying dragons, talk to our guests, talk to the host, ask us questions, whatever. Don't forget to add us on, Twitter, Facebook, all those different things, so you can ask us questions and things. I hear Money says I hear he's great. He is great. He's a great dude. Joey, what else do you have to add?
You can find all our socials on there.
Sure can.
Which I'll be updating soon to my new branding.
Mm-hmm.
And you can find us on the internet if you like my art. I'm at Joey Schichtel Art on Instagram right now, or at JM Schichtel on Twitter. Hunter, you are where?
Only one Hunter. Literally everywhere, except for Facebook, where it's Voice of Hunter. But yeah, so please reach out to us, guys. We want to hear your questions. We want to hear your conversations. We like asking questions. We like hearing your questions. But thank you so much for starting your day with us. Joey, would you like to give our feel-good message of the week, if you have one for this week?
Go watch Amanda Gorman's speech if you missed it yesterday.
You should. You should definitely go watch that speech. If you have not watched it, you should watch it. It's one of those things that, like, in your lifetime you have to see. You have to watch. Definitely do that.
It was very good.
So as usual, be kind to one another. Wear your mask. Be kind, rewind. Be a good person. Don't be a dick.
Don't be a dick.
Don't be a dick. But other than that, thank you guys so much for spending your morning with us. I was your host, Hunter.
And the co-host here is Joey Wheeler.
Joey Wheeler.
Let's get out of here, Yugs. We gotta go win the Duel Master tournament.
Oh, believe in the heart of the cards. Oh my God.
Yugs! Yugs, believe in the heart of the cards!
I'm doing it, Joey. I can't do a Yugi voice. What? I'm doing it, I don't know.
Yugi has a deep voice when he's dueling.
Don't worry, Joey. I've got this. Kaiba won't see this coming.
Your voice got so deep.
It's because I have this very weird necklace that transforms me into another person. But yet nobody can notice because I'm usually a 12-year-old kid. But when I put this necklace on and start dueling, I'm a 24-year-old adult. Anyway, guys.
You were expecting the Yu-Gi-Oh drop. Make sure you put Yu-Gi-Oh in the video description.
Yep, I have to put it in the video description.
The tags.
Either way, guys, thank you so much. Have an adventurous day, and don't stop slaying those dragons. See you later, guys.
Come on, everybody.